Okay, so just a side note of a behavioral formula that I thought of today, actually, involving group dynamics. This could help a lot of those loners or introverts that tend to be gang-stalked and bullied in gangs and sabotaged, most probably like at work or in school, and they feel helpless. However, they are intelligent. It's just that the fear of an intimidation of the crowd or a lot of people, the magnitude usually renders them an easy target and they feel helpless. So, in this formula, it uses the universal laws, which is why it's important for me to finish my videos on the 7 Hermetic principles, because those ones cover like most universal laws. Other laws that have been discovered or outlined, they basically fall in between the 7 Hermetic laws or principles. So if you know them and have grasped them and understand them, then you know they're always operating, they're always at work. So that is your first constant in your prediction analysis. The second one is you have to notice patterns. Notice there are patterns, right? Instead of focusing on the anxiety that you feel, your heart beating fast, or the thoughts that come up of the worst things that could happen, or maybe just praying that they let you go early, or they don't do too much bad to you, which actually attracts that kind of energy more. It's boosting their negative vibes, because then now you are contributing using your energy to their low vibration, almost like you're aligning with them, and that boosts their confidence into bullying you or sabotaging you. It's the same thing that happens when, for example, a dog is chasing you. If you have fear, you're scared and you're running, it boosts the confidence of the dog and it'll start chasing you more. And maybe the dog didn't even mean to bite you that time. They just wanted to scare you away a little bit. But then when you now contribute your energy of fear that much, it's like an injection to the vibration the dog was having of exerting that fear. And then it becomes like, if it was a wave, it will be a constructive wave, so it becomes a bigger wave. However, as much as you would be scared, if you try to not put your energy in fear, be brave, or just, this is going to be hard to say because a lot of people are really scared of dogs, and some dogs have rabies, but me, because I love animals, the first thing, even before it starts chasing after me, or even when it's doing that, I would greet it, because I'd see it's cute. I'd be like, oh, look at you, hi. And they'd be like, oh, I'm like, what's going on with you? I'm greeting you, bro. Hello, boo-boo, hi. They usually go down. Why? Because now my vibration is the opposite of their vibration. They're in aggressive mode, low vibration. I'm in a loving mode, high vibration. When these two, it's the crest and the trough of those waves. Look at it as in form of sine waves. When they collide, it becomes a destructive wave. It doesn't go up, So the situation does not escalate, the situation de-escalates by itself just from energies contributed. Okay, so that's one. That's an example of how you can use the universal laws in predicting behavior. Do not try this at home if a dog has bitten you before, because I thought it was a myth before that if a dog has bitten you, most probably another dog will bite you. But now I realize why, because animals are very sensitive to energies, and they have a wide range of sensory receptors than we do, since we have language. Language has made us not lose but downgrade on most of the energetical sensing, because we can just speak. They sense that the tyranny, the anger of the other dog, the fear that you felt when that dog was biting you, because it will automatically come, although you unconsciously not thinking about that time, it will appear in your energy field. And that's like I spoke about the thinking, the sine waves. It becomes a constructive interference. Yes, that's what it's called. It becomes constructive interference, escalating the situation, most probably leading to a bite. It just increases the possibility that way. Okay, so the dog was just an example. We are here about the people and bullying, because I've been thinking about ways we can combat this bullying or ganging up on people or exerting dominance or what we think is power on another, or on another that we think is weaker or we feel is different, and therefore they should be not only just excluded and left alone, they should be intimidated, and there should be pain that's put on that person. Why? Okay, firstly, I would ask why, but I realize that it's usually fear from the perpetrators, the bullies. They feel threatened and they can't actually rationally understand the feeling or the threat that they feel from that person, because something that is different from us, we usually fear it, or something we don't understand, we usually either fear it or reject it. And if it's close to you or it's always there, you'll be in the sympathetic nervous system, which will mean fight or flight. And usually it's fight, because they don't want to seem like they are the scaredy cats. That time you didn't do anything to threaten them intentionally anyway. So okay, let's leave that. That's just me letting you and myself understand their side of the story. Of course, not excusing it, because us excusing it is helping the behavior. It is what is this called? It's there's a name for it, where you it's enabling the behavior, which is not only bad for the victims of that person, it is horrible for the bully in terms of them, in terms of their character growth, understanding life, and regulating their energy levels and their points of attraction. They're messing up their field, because they will generally just vibrate low or in a low energy. That's why usually bullies, and when they're older, they're not successful. They will, if they do get a job, it will be like a low-paying job, or they don't aspire to great things because they've been vibrating low for so long. Okay, so let's go to my theoretical equation or formula that is still it's still a work in progress. So one of the constants will be the universal laws, because they're always in motion, they're always operating. It's a constant in terms of okay, let me not say constant. It's a known in terms of that you know them, so you can break them down and you can recognize that okay, this law is occurring right now. And then the second known will be the patterns, because usually human beings or animals are habitual species. I think that's just how the whole universe or cosmos conserves its energy. If there's a pattern or a rhythm that it has done before and it worked for this situation, it will most probably stick to it instead of trying numerous other patterns which will waste more of its energy because there will be trial and error. So we follow patterns, and especially if it's behavior that is motivated by lower vibrations, there won't be a lot of higher thinking there. So there won't be a lot of creativity or fascinating ideas. It will most probably be the same thing, just a different day or a different hand or something like that. So you most probably can predict what they're going to do in a certain situation or certain area, more or less, right? And then now the variables, you've decreased the variables significantly. So if you are, your advantage being alone, one, and them being a group, is that you don't need to set up a venue, time and distance and communication to formulate a plan or change a plan. If anything changes, you would need to regroup and inform everyone about the changes. For example, in the situation of sabotage, if there's a plan, because obviously it is fault, it is deceit, it won't just work out exactly as it was planned if one person changes their mind or changes a part of that story. If it was truth, it will still continue being the same without them needing to even discuss anything. So that's the advantage you have against them. You are alone, you don't need to consult anyone. So split-second changes to your plan or reaction can happen just like that. So that's your advantage. Now, if you factor in the patterns, factor in the number, how many there are, and the time it would take for them to be able to adjust their plans if you now change your pattern or the way you react in a certain way. You can use that to not only decrease the extent of your bullying or the sabotage or gang stalking, but you can use it to actually start to change and affect their patterns in their minds, which kind of causes a bit of chaos in their perfectly established dominance in bullying, confusing them, and that decreases the confidence. And the confidence decreases, the probability of the bullying continuing decreases also. No one wants to go trying to make a fool of another person, but they're so unsure of their plan that they most probably going to make a fool of themselves, so they would most probably decide, okay, maybe it's not worth it, or let's leave it today. Tomorrow, again, you come up with another just small destabilizing ways to their plan, because you can already predict most probably how their planning is going to factor out or play out. I am making this and wanting it to actually put it into a formula. Maybe one day it will be like a published working formula that will stop bullying forever, but that is just a dream for now. But I can see it. I can see it formulating on how us as human beings, since we know that we are blessed with higher intellect, and then we know that there is that we are ruled by energy, we are energy, and the degrees of the energetic state that we are will influence our probabilities of pass rate or failure. So if we keep it in our mind that try to always be in a high vibration. If you feel yourself going down in vibration, that will be if you feeling fear, feeling maybe paranoia, maybe agitatedness or anger, or then you know you're going down. So the probabilities of you being successful or having a good day in anything that you do are decreasing significantly as your vibration decreases. As soon as you can detect that, awareness is very important, because these things happen without us being aware of them in our conscious mind. So it just plays out like a program, and then you are not in control of your life that time. That behavior becomes the entity that controls you. So you're kind of like a slave to your bullying. Hear me clearly. Not a slave to your bullies, a slave to your bullying. The activity of you feeling the need to bully, you become a slave to it. You're not in control anymore as the perpetrator. As the victim, you become a slave to victimhood without knowing or feeling like you're not in control. But if we always remind ourselves, okay, I can see it's going to happen now. Be aware of what's going on in your body. Are you getting scared? No. That's not going to help. That's going to make the situation worse. Right now, just get there and laugh, or crack a joke and actually believe the joke yourself. Feel it. Be so confident. You know the fake it till you make it thing? You won't be faking it that time. Believe that it will happen, because now science has proven that with your high vibrations, their low vibration, it should collapse. Even if the first time maybe it doesn't collapse totally, you will see a difference. And that will add to your confidence for the next time. By the time maybe you try it for the 4th or 5th time, you are pro. The bullies are coming to bully you, end up bullying them. No, I'm not encouraging bullying anyway, but they will feel like they got bullied and they will shrink and go away from bullying you. But you would have done them a good service because you would have stopped a behavior that was going to enslave them for most of their lives and then making them less than what they could have possibly been in future. So this was just a thought. It's very rough, but I've gotten myself into a habit of not just taking my weird, crazy thoughts like they are, just crazy, weird thoughts that should just stay in my head and never see the light of day because of fear of being laughed at or judged or misunderstood. No, I told myself I will record it because what if there's gold there and I don't recognize it because I'm still just judging it and it's new for me also that time. If I see that, okay, it's something that doesn't work or will not work, then I could discard it. But usually most of the time I realize that if an idea like that occupies my mind and it continues playing and I see it in my mind's eye, it usually will work. It's almost like I'm accessing a certain part or a certain library in the Kashi records. So it would be a waste. It would be sad to waste what our dear, beautiful, universal cosmos would have been allowing me to have or have access to. So anyway, I love everyone who listens to both my talks that make sense, thoroughly investigated, and my side notes that make some sense. Let's ascend together. Love you guys. Bye-bye.